So I think I kind of rushed into that, which a lot of people in their 20s just don't understand. That's why I'm trying to like teach my kids right now. Like, forever's a long time, you know, and to be with one person forever takes a lot. It's hard. It's very hard. You know what I mean? So there's no rush. There's no rush for that. So, you know, I just thought there was something else that God wanted for me out there, and I truly believe that now. And I did get into a relationship after that for like 12 years, and it was very abusive and really brought me down to a bad place. But you know, God got me out of that somehow.
Yeah, truly.
And I left without knowing what I was going to do with, you know, being single with my 3 kids, and you know, like, he literally made it work for me. And I just worked on myself and just figured out, like, just got closer to God and figured out why I love myself, you know, and why I'm deserving of love, and that's why I have, you know, because I'm forever grateful, and now I know that I'm enough, you know what I mean? I could just be me, and somebody's going to love me for me.
He's a very empathetic and loving person.
Yes, which is completely opposite of the last relationship that I got myself into. And I was actually thinking about that today, because we watch, church, like, we watch this preacher every single day. So he was talking, and sometimes people, they ask God to, like, show them, like, show me something, you know? Show me you're here, show me you're there, show me you're there. And I remember when I was going through what I was going through, I would always drive to church and just sit in the parking lot, just because it made me feel like I love the place, like, it made me feel safe there.
Right.
And I would always ask God, like, why don't you get me out of this? Like, why? I don't deserve this. I'm a good person. I'm so good to everybody. Why? And then today, when I was watching that sermon, and he was saying how people always want God to, like, show me something. And sometimes I feel like maybe he is, and we're not listening, you know? And I think that's what I did. Because if I allowed this person to hurt me so much, because he showed me every single time, you got to get out, but I didn't trust. You know, I didn't trust that I would be able to be okay with my 3 kids alone. Yeah. So I feel like if more people, and recently, this is like something that I've been struggling with, is just trusting that God's there and he's working behind the scenes, you know what I mean? In ways that you don't know. And that's what he did then. And I had to leave that situation, and God showed me hundreds of times, like, look, I'm showing you, which I didn't realize until now what he was doing. Like, he showed me so many different ways. You need to just leave, but my fear of not being able to do it by myself kept me in a situation when I didn't realize I wasn't by myself. And he was there the whole time. Yeah. So when I did finally get the chance to say, I'm better than this, and I'm not doing this anymore, and I just left, and I told my kids, just pack your stuff, we're out of here.
Yeah, wow.
And everything just worked out, you know? And so I think that happens in people's lives.
My daughter's going through it right now.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I don't think they realize that is God. You know?
Well, you're giving God an opportunity to work. Where the other guy was, you're resting on him.
Exactly. And, so yeah, when people say, God, why don't you show me something? Why don't you, reveal yourself? Why don't you help me? Like, because I did it. I did that. I sat in a church parking lot hundreds of times and wondered, why aren't you being here for me? Why are you keeping me here? And he wasn't. I was keeping me there.
Yeah, that's good to put it.
I was keeping me there out of fear.
Fear, right.
Because if I really believed that God had my back like he did, I would have left in the very beginning. I wouldn't have wasted 12 years of my life. 12 years of my life because I was in fear and didn't truly believe that God had my back. I said I did. I thought I did, because where did I wind up? At church. But sometimes people, that fear in them is just like too much, because he's not literally coming down and sitting in front of you and saying, I got you. Just do what I'm telling you to do. You know what I mean? So, today when I was watching that, and he was telling people, like, you want God, you want God to show you miracles and this and that, and he's like, the fact that he brought his son down here and he died and he was dead for 3 days and he was resurrected, and there's no bones anywhere, like any of the other people that people pray to or whatever, their bones are in a box somewhere. Right. Where's Jesus's bones? They're nowhere, because he's up here. He's still alive. Right. He's still with you. He's still inside of you. And if you look at the tribulations and trials that you go through, and really look at it, like I did this morning, you'll see that he was with you. Through those things, even though they seemed horrible. I seemed like it was hell. Like, why am I going through this hell, God? I help everybody. I'm there for everybody. I'm a good person. I do the A, B, C, D, and E, and F. But he already knows that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I do have something great for you. But it's on the other side of what you're putting yourself in right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And as soon as you figure that out, I'm going to have something great for you. Which he does. He did. But...
yeah, you're truly blessed, man. My gosh. Your relationship's very inspiring. I see how you
It is very inspiring. Yeah.
And I believe in that. My wife and I have that.
Yeah.
You guys have.
That's what I'm saying. I knew that it was out there.
Yeah.
And I wasn't one. I saw my friends just settle, and people that I knew just settle, and I'm like, I am not just going to settle for what I know is not where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and he wasn't perfect, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not, none of us are perfect, but he did things in the beginning of our relationship that, really hurt me. Really, really hurt me bad. But the difference is I told him, like, you need to find God again, because he grew up in church. His parents were very spiritual. And I would tell him, pray, pray, pray. And he'd be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to pray and everything's going to be better. And I said, it will be better. And he never would understand that until he almost lost me. Like this close.
Yeah.
And I said, I need time to think about what I want to do. And I did, and I sat with God, and God told me, I need you to help me get him where I need him to be. So I did stay, and I forced him to, you know what I mean, go to counseling and, get back into his belief in God, and that God can do anything if you need him to. And he didn't believe that at first. He didn't believe that God could take him out of what was tormenting him, every day, every single day. And I just asked him to stay focused and try for me, and now look at what I have, you know what I mean?
That's funny, you're sharpening each other. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And it all comes around, it all comes around if you just believe and you just put your whole heart in him. And it's hard, because right now, like, financially we're struggling, but and that bothers me, and I go back and I'm like, I just want to be comfortable. I'm not asking you for riches or this or that. And he has to bring me back, you know what I mean? Because he's more like, just trust, and you know what I mean?
That's what I was hoping for, that you would step up.
And that's where we're at now. So right. I struggle with a different demon, you know what I mean?
Right, sure.
And he's got to bring me back, and
it's the iron sharpening iron thing.
That's all it is. And so, I'm so excited to marry him, because honestly, I wish we would have just did it when we both knew that God wanted us together, instead of waiting to make this big ordeal.
Yes, I understand.
Because it's not really about that.
Yeah.
And I regret that a little bit. I mean, we just thought at the time, like, this is just, God did a miracle in us, and we just want the world to see.
Sure.
How,
that might be a great testimony.